Trick Room is about to run out.
Yeah. Gigalith starts the Rock Slide, which...
It will not knock out that Snorlax, but it will flinch it. This is the first flinch that we have seen all game with Rock Slide.
Yeah, it feels like we were almost due for that flinch.
Yeah.
So we see Porygon 2 going back to full health this turn with Recover, and we see the Twisted Dimensions return to normal. So this means that Snorlax will not be faster than Gigalith, but Porygon 2 will be faster than Snorlax. So, I don't know what we're going to see here. We can see a lot of things.
Wonder if we'll see a Protect on either of those Pokemon.
Yeah, I know Porygo's just protected, so maybe it's in prison. That would be an interesting thing to be able to see to stop the Trick Room from going back up and keeping a fast pace on the field.
We're seeing both players taking up quite a bit of time here with their choice.
Yeah, it's always a good choice to take your time.
The match was forfeit.
Huh. That's strange. I see Jake forfeited.
Jake forfeit, and that's going to give Kevin the win for this very first round.
He must have thought he was in a position where he didn't want to reveal any more text or anything.
That's actually pretty common.
Yeah.
Pretty common to see players forfeit when they think that they've been beat. They would like to preserve the other Pokemon that they were potentially saving. We actually didn't see Jake's fourth Pokemon.
Yeah, so that's good information to preserve. Kevin revealed all four of his Pokemon. So that's interesting. So we'll see what adjustments are coming out here. We saw relatively the same team constructs going into the first game. I'm curious what the leads are going to be. I would be surprised if that Aerodactyl came out with a lead the same way again.
Do you think we may see Kevin bringing out that Aerodactyl? It seemed to work in his favor pretty well this last turn. Although we did see him switch it out pretty early into that game.
Yeah, I think we could see the Aerodactyl. And maybe it has Sky Drop to prevent a Trick Room from going up for a turn. Maybe it would go for Rock Slide to try to flinch the Trick Room setter. I don't know. It looks like that Trick Room works well for Kevin, and it would be odd for him to change that. But I don't see Aerodactyl being as good as a partner for a Trick Room setter. So I'm curious if we'll see something else like Garchomp come out with the Porygon 2.
It looks like Jake actually picked his Pokemon pretty quickly.
Yeah, so he knows what he wants to do. He knows what adjustments he wants to make. Maybe he's not going to go for Trick Room mode. He's going to go for something to shut down that Trick Room instead.
Alright, well, let's see what these players decide to bring for their first few Pokemon. Hopefully we won't see the first four again like we have in the previous rounds.
Yeah, let's get some variety here and hopefully see a different strategy coming out from these players.
Alright, looks like Kevin is going to bring out Porygon 2 and Arcanine, and that's going to be what he starts with today. And Jake is going to... Oh, there's that Tapu... Yep, Tapu Koko. I was kind of hoping to see that for this matchup.
Yeah, that's nice to see.
Electric Surge is going to go off.
Yes. So, this is interesting because Jake has a couple of things, potentially, that could stop the Porygon 2. Roar is common on Arcanine to be able to roar out the Trick Room setter, and Tapu Koko is known to carry Taunt from time to time, so there are potentially two options to stop this Trick Room from going off if it's going to go off. And they both brought Arcanine, so whatever damage that those Arcanines are doing if they're physical will be reduced.
I kind of wonder if we'll see a double into that Porygon 2, potentially to stave off that.
Yeah, it would not surprise me.
Yeah, just to stave off the Twisted Dimensions.
If he has a Z Crystal on one of those Pokemon, that would definitely be good. But we see Porygon 2 retreating for Garchomp, which I agree with this play wholeheartedly because Garchomp is super effective against both of these Pokemon. Now we see Tapu Koko going for Nature Power, which turns into Thunderbolt in the electric terrain.
Right. Oh, it's gonna get burned.
Yeah. From the Flare Blitz from Arcanine. And then we see
a Z move happening here. On Jake's side, Jake is gonna be alright on the Arcanine.
Was that the electric Z dance?
I think it was, but it's not gonna go off because it got targeted into that Garchomp.
Yeah, that was interesting. So we see that.
Very interesting to see Electrium Z put on an Arcanine because it doesn't get the super effectiveness of being the same type.
Yeah, we've seen that actually in history of Pokemon. We've seen uh, Electric Gem Arcanine with Wild Charge back in 2012, and we've seen uh, uh, Electrium Z Arcanine nowadays. Ashton Gox was the first person I saw bring it out, so that's interesting to see again. See people respecting the power of the electric type moves. And we see Arcanine retreating for this Porygon 2 again. Maybe he's in a more favorable position to set up Trick Room, or maybe he just wants to take the hit from an Earthquake. That'll be interesting to see.
Because it would be kind of in Kevin's best interest to preserve that Arcanine.
Yes. Oh, so we see Garchomp going for a Rock Slide, and it misses the Tapu Koko.
First miss of this
yeah.
round too.
Now that's interesting. Did we just see the Garchomp go faster than the Tapu Koko?
I think we did. I think the Garchomp was faster.
So that either means one of two things. Koko is really slow, which is unlikely, or Garchomp is holding a Choice Scarf. So now we know that that Garchomp is locked into Rock Slide with Choice Scarf.
Well, let's see what happens in this next one.
Yeah, let's see what Jake brings out to hopefully combat that Choice Scarf. Garchomp. I'm curious what this Porygon 2 is going to be doing the next turn. And Jake's taking his time. It's always good to think through your moves, what you want to do in the next turn.
And then we're gonna see a Garchomp, another Garchomp. Garchomp versus Garchomp in this round.
But I can't help but feel that Jake has an advantage here because he has Wide Guard on his Aerodactyl.
Yeah.
And he could have Dragon Claw on his Garchomp or Ground EMZ.
Although, from the name, Flinchstones, it kind of sounds like he might have Rock Slide.
Yeah, it sounds like he might have Rock Slide. That'd be interesting to see. I don't think he's going to go for it this turn. Maybe when the Arcanine comes back out and he's next to a Pokemon that's not levitating, but...
Do you think we may see a switch out with the Garchomp, though? Because the Garchomp is kind of less effective now, and if it is Choice Scarfed into Rock Slide, and Jake knows that, then he may want to continue to Wide Guard like this.
Yeah, Kevin just keeps it in. And Wide Guard protects both the Pokemon, so that's interesting to see him not try and mitigate that. This is an interesting turn.
But the Porygon does flinch, so we're not going to see what the Porygon does until maybe next turn.
No, so I expect the next turn to be the same. I can see Kevin just deciding to switch out his Garchomp here. Maybe get in something that's better in Trick Room. Maybe he's trying to set up Trick Room.
We haven't actually seen his fourth Pokemon yet, so we don't know what that is.
Though this is scary now for Kevin because Porygon 2 is now in range of a Tectonic Rage from the opposing Garchomp. But we still...
Garchomp's gonna go to Rock Slide and no Wide Guard on that Aerodactyl.
So he just knocks out the Aerodactyl and does chip damage to Garchomp. Let's see if it flinches. No. Uses Earthquake.
Earthquake will connect on both Pokemon, it looks like, for some chip damage there.
Oh, Porygon 2 is just going for a Recover. It's not even going for Trick Room.
That actually doesn't quite surprise me there because it was like you said, in range of being knocked out by that
Tectonic Rage. But actually, didn't Jake... Was that this game that Jake, Electric EMZ'd into the Garchomp? I think it was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So, he already used his Z move, so he couldn't actually get the knockout.
And that Tapu Koko is going to come back out. Burned.
Yeah, so... I really like Kevin's position here. He has potential Ice Beam from Porygon 2 into that Garchomp, which can't knock it out, and his Garchomp is faster than that Tapu Koko, so it can Rock Slide and hopefully knock it out.
I think it was a good stroke of luck that Jake decided to not use Wide Guard on his Aerodactyl.
Yeah, I think he predicted that the Garchomp would be switching out and going to something more for Trick Room.
But we're seeing this is the third Rock Slide in a row now from Kevin's Garchomp, which kind of seems to me that it is actually Choice Scarf.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's definitely Choice Scarf, and we see the electricity disappear. That shouldn't affect anything. There should be no more electric attacks on the field.
And that Tapu Koko is gone.
Yeah, the Tapu Koko is gone, and now we see Arcanine coming back in, so there is an electric type attack, I guess. But I don't think it's going to be using it anytime soon. This will be interesting. I'm curious to see if Kevin's going to give up on his Garchomp for now and bring it back in later and use Earthquake.
Mhm.
He could definitely bring an Arcanine now because both his opponent's Pokemon are physical attackers, so he can intimidate both of them, and that would be really good play. But
Looks like the Arcanine is going to go for a Protect here.
yeah, and that Garchomp is staying in, just
It's
clicking
just
Rock
going to
Slide.
keep using Rock Slide. It's working out so far. And an Earthquake from the opposing Garchomp. Will not connect on the Arcanine because of that Protect.
Yeah, and you know, I used to say Rock Slide is the best move in the game. I would put it in my first slot just in case I timed out.
Ooh, but that Porygon just used Ice Beam, and a critical hit will knock out that Garchomp.
Now, I don't think that crit mattered much because of the chip damage that had taken from Rock Slide.
And Dragon type Pokemon are very weak to
Okay,
Ice.
Kevin almost forfeited there. He went to the forfeit menu and I
Uh-oh.
was scared. But it looks like Kevin is up 4-1, so he has a very strong advantage here. And
Especially against that Arcanine. And we will see a match forfeit from Jake.
yeah. So it looks like Kevin's able to take this match 2-0. Yeah. 1 second. So we'll be bringing Kevin up for an interview real quick. I want to talk to him about his thought process in that battle. So we'll be right back with an interview in a couple minutes.